Hello. Cool. We're getting some people. They're tuning in. There's no sound. Do other people not have sound? Okay. Try the mute button. Perfect. Yeah, so I am going to go over how to download Zoom. Very, very simple. And that's why I'm doing this, because honestly, a lot of events are starting to pop up on Zoom and people are not, like, they're waiting until the day of the event to download Zoom, and then they realize it's like a little bit more complicated. It's not overly complicated. I think personally that it's very easy, but for sometimes older generations, older demographics, or people who are not supremely technologically inclined, or just in general, a new interface can be difficult and confusing to people. So you always want to, before an event that you're either participating in, whether you're performing or you're just watching, you want to check out the software platform that they're running and familiarize yourself with it. I am hosting a workshop tomorrow. I'm hosting a writing workshop tomorrow, and that is why I decided to do the Zoom tutorial, so that I don't have to eat up precious time explaining how to use Zoom. I mean, I'm always happy to answer questions, obviously, but sometimes it gets a little, I've posted a lot of Zoom meetings this week, just like friends hanging out, and it's been it's always chaotic, like the first 20 minutes while the new people get on and are trying to figure out the settings and learn that they can change backgrounds and all that stuff. So that's mostly why I'm doing this. I just think that I wanted to be able to give people some insight and realize it's not very difficult. It's just something that you have to get shown how to do, and then you should be good. So what time is it? It is 6:06. All right, so we're going to get started. This is getting recorded, so it will be on my timeline, and if you tune in late, you can always go back and watch whatever you missed. So I hope everyone is doing well, and I really appreciate you joining me. Like I said before, if you're watching this, if you could hit share and share this publicly so that other people can have this resource. You're welcome to also link this video after it's posted to my timeline. I'm also going to put it on YouTube. In general, you can find anything that I create content-wise for anything on Melissa Marie Imagery, Imagery, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, everything. So this will go up on YouTube, and then my hope is that people will link the video in events that they are hosting on Zoom so that people can do a quick tutorial and familiarize themselves with the software. So obviously, with the current situation that we're all in, the need to reach out and connect is greater than ever. The purpose of this webinar is to give you the basic, super simple, easy version of Zoom so you can call your friends and family. You can hop in on a business meeting. You can join in on a webinar and educate yourself on whatever topics that you're interested in. And you can connect with people near and far in your life. On a side note, Zoom is not paying me for this. It's really just a platform that I'm enjoying, that I'm passionate about, that offers a lot, especially for free. So Zoom is free. You can download this for free. If you host an event, you get 40 minutes and up to 100 people. If you need to host an event longer than 40 minutes, it's $14.99 a month, and then their plans go up from there. Considering the situation that we're in right now, $14.99 a month, if you have the finances available, is definitely worth the investment. I did it the first day. I was like, yeah, no, this is worth it. So if you can afford that, it's definitely a suggestion. We are not going to get into all the pro stuff. Like I said, this is super simple. Like, I want my grandmother to be able to watch this and use Zoom and be able to call her grandkids. So this is real easy for everyone. If you have questions, please reach out. So you'll also notice on my screen, you can see my face as well as my screen. So I'm actually using a software right now called OBS, or the Open Broadcaster software. This is another fantastic platform, and a lot of streamers already use it. This is actually a new software for me, so bear with me. I've been getting some help and kind of messing around with things. It's definitely more involved than your standard Facebook live stream, But this is why I am teaming up with Rob Petersack of 5 Eye Sound Design, and we are going to bring you a joint seminar to discuss the advanced features of Zoom for hosting and scheduling events, and he's going to do a killer demo on broadcasting live virtual events. So he created an event page. I'm going to link that in the comment, or Rob, if you're still watching and you want to just link it in the comments, that would be great. And, you know, if you're interested in hosting events or you're just interested in learning more about some of the online streaming platform options that you have to connect with outside sources, I definitely encourage you to tune in. And like I said, I'm going to be kind of delving into the more advanced options in Zoom on my end of the stuff that we're going to be going over. So not only is Zoom a magnificent platform for our current situation that we're in right now, but it's definitely something that's going to become integrated into our new normal and our daily life now that everyone is realizing, A, it's really not that hard, and B, it's really convenient, especially to particular demographics, anyone who has trouble getting out of the house, people who just can't be places because they have kids to watch but want to attend an event or learn a course or any of that. I definitely foresee live streaming and video conferencing becoming even more mainstream than it already is. And I was actually on a webinar today from Mondo, and they were basically confirming the same thing, that this is going to become a new way to generate revenue. There's going to be a lot of advances. So now is the time to just bite the bullet and get to the live streaming and get all your software together and learn how to use it. So we're going to start with making an account. And I'm not going to walk you through physically making an account because that's pretty easy to figure out, but you're basically going to go to zoom.com or zoom.us. They redirect to zoom.us. And there's a button, sign up. It's free. So you click that, you put in your email address, and you sign up. Pretty standard. So this is the web browser for Zoom. So I'm going to just show you that quickly, but then I'm going to actually show you the video, as they refer to it, the downloading the Zoom client, which is actually just a desktop app, which I personally, that's how I use Zoom. So I'm just going to sign in with my Google, and there are a bunch of things you can do. We're not going to go over all of them, but one thing I do want to direct you towards is your profile. So your profile picture is going to be visible. Now, if you're just using Zoom to hang out with your friends, whatever. But if you're using Zoom for work or professional platform, you want to consider utilizing a professional picture. Like, I should probably put my professional headshot up here, but at least it's like a normal picture and it's not me doing something like weird. What I want to also bring your attention to is the personal meeting ID. So that's your ID for when people want to add you, chat with you, etc. There's a couple of different ways you can reach out to folks on Zoom. That's just one of them. You'll see I'm a licensed user. I can have up to 100 people in my meeting. Check your time zone, make sure everything is correct, your passwords, all that good stuff. Cool. Just making sure everyone in the chat is good. If you have questions, you can ask them, and I'll try to get back to them at the end. So meetings, you can see here, and I'm not going to get too into this because, like I said, the point of this webinar is really to make sure you can hop on a call that already exists. In terms of creating meetings, that's going to be part of the extended webinar. But you can see here I have a bunch of classes that I'm hosting in the next couple of weeks, and I created them on Zoom. And they are linked, so now I can send them to people. So this is just a schedule of those. Previous meetings is a schedule of all of the meetings I've hosted already. These are just like pre-made ones. If you just pop on and do a meeting, it won't record that. I'm not going to go over these because they're a little bit much. Same with webinars. This is all going to be covered in the extended. Recordings is a neat feature. I'll get back to it later, but you can actually record your conversations on Zoom, your video, your audio. If you're the host. If you're not the host, you can hit record and they will ask, you have to ask the host for permission, but we'll touch back on that. And then your settings, which is obviously, there's a lot in the settings, and I'm not going to go over all these settings. I'm just going to go over a couple. But right now what I really want to do is just get you into the Zoom client. So resources is up in the corner. Downloading the Zoom client, personally for me, is the way that I utilize Zoom. So when you hit download, you're basically going to follow your normal downloading procedures, and then you're going to get this. So this is the Zoom client. It's fairly easy to use. There's not a lot happening on it. So you have some options. This is your home screen. So anywhere that you have meetings scheduled, like when you send links back and forth to each other, you can add them onto your calendar. You can export them into iCal and GCal and all that wonderful organizational stuff that we'll cover in the advanced meeting. You can make a new meeting from here. You can join an existing meeting. You can schedule a meeting, and you can screen share. So new meeting, I'm going to go back to. Join is super easy. That's where you're going to put in that personal link ID that you had earlier on your profile. Additionally, if someone is hosting a Zoom meeting, they can send you a web URL. You click that and it will auto launch Zoom and you'll be entered into that. So it's pretty simple. Also, let me know if I'm going too fast, because that happens to me a lot. Schedule, I'm going to gloss over this because it's a little bit extra, but basically I can say we're going to have, discussion, work discussion. And I put the date, the time. I can put a password if I don't want specific people, or if you're like gigging and you're selling tickets and only people who have paid towards your Patreon account are going to join in. You can put a password on there. Video, host wants video. Do you want your participants to have video? The webinar I was just on, the participants didn't have video or audio. You were just listening. You can also dial in on the phone, and you can create an iCal or a Google Calendar option. So that's just basics for like scheduling. Then there's the chat. So chat is basically like a messenger service, and you actually add contacts. And then you can go, like I can see Dan and I can say hello, and I can either message him or I can call him directly from here. I can make groups like people I play Cards Against Humanity with, and then I can call them all at once. I can see people that are online. It looks like the couple of people I have added in here are green, so they are online. And then there's also a bunch of apps that you can utilize for like that interface well and connect with Zoom. Meetings are just all of the meetings, and they keep them nice and scheduled and organized, which I love because I'm a geek and I like to know about all that stuff. And contacts is the same concept. Like I said, again, glossing over this stuff pretty quick because it's not the main point of the webinar, but I want you to see some of the features that Zoom offers. What I do want you to look at is if you go into the corner, you can click your little profile. You can set yourself to available, away, or do not disturb. So if you don't want people to call you, that's a good thing to use. But really settings is what I wanted to go over, and just a couple of them. I mean, there are general settings and you can kind of poke through. Mine are not default settings. I've been playing with these for a couple of weeks, so I don't recall what's default and what's not. But the two things I really want to bring to your attention are the video and the audio. So video, basically, like if you turn on your computer and you don't have video and you can't figure out why, go to video and see what's going on. There might be other cameras. You might have your camera launched in another app. Like if I have Photo Booth open or something, it may tell me I can't live stream, stuff like that. You can mirror your video if you have a good side. They have a lovely little blur feature, so you can touch your appearance up also. And same for audio is if your sound is not working, input or output, you can go here and check out and see what's going on, and you can test everything. So those are two sections that you can definitely visit without worrying about screwing anything up if something isn't working. There's also a chat setting. You can decide if you get notifications about your chats, if you want them to pop up, any stuff like that. And you can just kind of click through and poke around. Oh, this isn't showing up, is it? Shoot. Sorry, guys. Let me window capture that. Oh, See, that's what happens because OBS is new and I don't know what I'm doing, so I've been running my mouth on a screen you can't see. Sorry, friends. Now you can see it. Yes. Okay. Okay, so again, like I said, video is here, and you can mirror and go back and forth. Yeah. So you can change your video settings here. Your audio settings are here. Again, you can switch back and forth. I have to remember to pay attention to my windows in OBS. Sorry, friends. Where was I? So yeah, so the chat, there's all your different options for chat. And basically, like I said, when you get Zoom, flick through all of your options and just kind of familiarize yourself with everything and do it before you sign into an event. That way you have as much knowledge as you can. So something a lot of people are interested in is the virtual background. We're all displaced. So there are people that are working in the corner of their kitchen. There are people that are set up in their garage. There are people with children. There are people in not ideal circumstances that just need to hide whatever's happening behind them. And Zoom gives you a very nice, very easy feature to simply go in and assign a background. It's not the greatest. They have a green screen setting, but honestly, I set up my green screen setting and it didn't really make a difference. Sorry, I'm getting messages. The green screen didn't really make a difference. It's not necessary. So you could just turn on background and do whatever you want. You kind of disappear a little, but if you have not a great situation with whatever's going on behind you, it works. So it's good in a pinch. When you get to questions, how do I prevent my technical difficulties last night doing a computer of having to do video on a phone and audio from a computer? Kenzie, we can go over that separately, and that's probably something I'm sure it will be something addressed in the joint seminar that we were discussing. I don't want to get into that now, but because I'm already at almost 20 minutes. But we'll talk after this. Shoot me a message. So yeah, there's advanced features. We're not going to go through those, but there's keyboard shortcuts and accessibility and all kinds of things. So what I am going to do now is I'm going to start a meeting. So bear with me because I'm going to have to launch my OBS screen after I do that, but I'm going to hit new meeting. Oh, I don't want a background. You're going to join either with audio or with your phone. Most of us are going to be using audio. So join with computer audio. Let me turn this silly background off. No backgrounds. There we go. Hold on. Let me just put my OBS on for that. Zoom chat room. And meeting ID. And are we live? Let's find out. Hold on. Zoom chat room. We are. Perfect. All right. I'm getting the hang of this. So this is a Zoom chat room. When you make a Zoom chat room, if you're the one making it, you're alone. There's nothing in here. And there's a chat at the bottom. And I'm just getting my notes out. So here's your chat. So it's pretty, you're going to be seeing from a hosting end, because I'm obviously hosting this, so it's going to look slightly different if you're just joining a meeting. If you're joining a meeting, like I said before, you're just going to either click your web URL that someone sends you, or you're going to put in the person's identification code. And that's it, you'll be in. So when you're hosting a meeting, which is what I would be doing right now, it's very, very simple. So you'll see here I have mute and stop video. So if I mute, my video participants won't be able to hear what I'm saying. If I stop video, you won't be able to see me. This is especially great for people working from home or just people who are in the middle of things. You know, kids come in and you got to deal with something. Yeah, then next to each of those is the up arrow, and those are the settings. So the same settings I was showing you before, you can also do them here. Just as quick, easy access. Same with choosing your virtual background and your video settings. So the chat box is very cool. When you have more than one person in here, you can actually, oh, hold on, let me show you the chat box because you can't see it. Chat room. Why can't you see it? Hold on. Oh, because it's locked. Like I said, I'm learning. So now you can see the chat room. Cool. So the chat room has a lot of different options. You can attach files here directly from Drive, Dropbox, and some of the other options that you have. So that's a cool feature. And you can also chat with specific people if you're trying to privately chat. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to invite a friend. So we're going to invite Dan. I have lots of friends, not really. I'm still trying to get everyone on the Zoom platform, so it's going to take some time. You can see down here, you can invite your friends either in your phone book, your address book, or you can copy the URL. That's going to be the link that you send people when you want them to join your chat. So since Dan is already my friend, we're just going to hit invite, and it's going to call him. I can hear it ringing. And we're waiting. Have I been abandoned? I might have been abandoned. There we go. Hello.
Oh.
All right. So now we have Dan. Dan, I'm on mute, so I'm not gonna be able to hear anything you say, but okay, so now I have a person in my chat, which is fantastic. And there's not too much really here to show you. Now you've made it. You've made it to the whole purpose of the webinar, which is you are now staring at your friend or your grandma or your boss, and you can chat with them. So again, if there's more people to invite, you can still invite them by hitting the invite button here at the bottom. I can also manage participants as a host, so I can mute and turn off sound and video as I do things. So if like when I host the open mic next week, everyone will be muted while the one person is performing, and you know, you can kind of do those, but again, that's for the advanced version of the webinar. But for right now, you can mute yourself, you can stop your own video, Dan can mute himself, he can stop his own video. There's also a couple of screen sharing options. Are they going to show up? No, I got to add the OBS. Hold on. So I can share, this is probably going to explode my computer, but I could share my desktop. Yeah, that's not going to show up on OBS. Hold on. I'll share the whiteboard, and then I'll add that. Oh my goodness. OBS, whiteboard. There's, okay, let me see. Zoom, annotated messaging. Okay, did it work? It did not work. Okay, I don't want to waste your time while I try to fumble through that, so, but there's the options. You could share a whiteboard so that you can, this button right here, there's a desktop, a whiteboard, and anything else on your screen you can share individually, and it'll basically full screen it, and then the entire meeting looks at whatever you're looking at. So you can watch a movie. The other night we played Jackbox with a bunch of people, and you'll still have your gallery up here. There's two different views. There's gallery view, which is where everyone is the same size, and then as more people come in, they shrink the boxes down, and you can have up to 100 boxes of humans. Then there's speaker view, so whoever is speaking is going to be the loudest person, the biggest person on the screen. And then when there's more than two people, there's the option to right-click and spotlight a person. It would be in this drop-down menu. And you could spotlight a person so that they are the center of attention if they are playing music or giving a presentation, or they're the main purpose of your webinar, basically. You can spotlight them. And it's nice. We've been doing a lot of just joking around and hanging out and playing music. So if someone's playing, I'll usually spotlight them so that they are the main focus on the screen. Oh, now that there's someone else in here, you could see the chat drop down can either be I can message everyone, which if there was more than one person in the room would be helpful. And then I can also privately message individuals and correspond back and forth with them. And it all shows up in the same chat box. Really, the only other thing I wanted to go over is the record option, which is a button, and it's easy, and you hit it. and you hit record on this computer or onto the cloud. The cloud only gives you a gig of space, and that's with my paid version. I don't know what the free version gives you, but you can record, and then you can export it individually. You can set your audio settings to individually record each person, so they actually become their own sound file, which is awesome for presentations, for podcasts, for musicians who are playing and just want to, you know, take themselves out of whatever the general chit chat is. And it also simultaneously records the video. So if you're into that kind of stuff, which I am, then it's a fun little thing to geek out to. And then these aren't working right now, apparently, but you can actually do this live to Facebook. So that'll all be covered in my extended webinar. And that's basically it. We're coming up on the half-hour mark. I hope I didn't go too fast. This was really just to give a nice overview of the basics of Zoom, as well as some of the capabilities that it offers that are like a little bit outside of the basics, and to give you a taste of what you're going to be able to experience in the extended webinar. Are there some questions? I have a couple of minutes. Thank you, Kenzie. I appreciate this. Thank you, Jen. Thanks for everyone for tuning in. Dan, I'm going to leave you up for just a couple of minutes in case people have specific questions that require me to be up and about. And I think that's everything. So, are there questions, comments? So the extended webinar, did pick date? I think we said next Tuesday. Please hold and I will just double check. Where'd it go? April 7th. Yes, we're going to do April 7th. We haven't hashed out all the specific details, so that's the most that I can give you right now is April 7th. So save the date, and that should be really, really helpful to get delving into the OBS software, as well as just the general helpfulness of running an event digitally, because it is hard. And a lot of the stuff you do in real life, you also have to do when you're hosting an event digitally. And I've noticed that there are people that seem to be maybe overlooking some of those things. So I'm really looking forward to, you know, watching Rob delve into that and seeing what he comes up with. The other software for screen capturing is OBS, which, let me see, that would probably murder my whole screen. I'm not quite good enough at OBS to do some things yet, so I don't want to screw it up, but I was going to bring up the OBS screen. Oh, actually here, I can, sorry. Window capture, OBS, where is it? Chrome, picture, document, there it is. Oh, yeah, no, I knew that was going to happen. That was dumb. So the internet exploded and my computer exploded. There is so much happening. Yeah, I'm up on a lot of screens right now, and OBS just was like, whoa. But so that's the software, and it's free to download, and it's very useful, and it lets you lay things out and decide and design your screen and apply backgrounds and all sorts of goodies that Rob's going to teach you a whole lot about, because I am still wildly not used to this. So yeah, I'm going to stick around for just questions, but that's the overview. Oh, and end meeting. So when you're done and you don't want to be in your meeting anymore, in the bottom is end meeting. If you're hosting and you end your meeting, the whole meeting is going to end. If you're just in someone else's meeting, yours is going to say leave meeting. So you'll just leave and everyone else will still be able to kibitz and do their thing. So that's it. So Dan has left. And that's it. So if you have some questions, I'm going to just hang out live for a little bit because that's what I do now. And definitely tune in for the live streaming broadcast audio workshop number 1, I believe is the running name for it at the moment. Rob is great at what he does, and he will definitely be able to educate you on hosting your events virtually and keep them running smoothly. Like I said, I have a writing workshop that I'm offering tomorrow. I'll put a link in the comments for that as well. I have a songwriting workshop that I am paired up with Rory Kelly, also, again, on Zoom. We're going to be working with musicians and writers of all levels of experience, including no levels of experience, to hopefully generate some new content for ourselves and collaboratively create a song. And finally, I am also excited to be teamed up with Paveway Records. We are going to be using our Zoom platform to do a live, virtual, interactive open mic. So it's going to be run just like a regular open mic. I'm sure it will be a delight, and on my end will be chaos. And basically, just everyone's going to come in. We're going to get the first half hour of just everyone on Zoom, mingling and shooting the shit and like hanging out. And then each performer will get their allotted time. As you sign in, you'll let me know that you want to perform. I'll put you on the list. And then everyone will be muted while the performer is on, and that's a great opportunity to utilize your chat box option on the side. And then in between performers, I'll turn the sound back on, let everyone chat. And then when it's done, we can just hang out until the last person drops. We've had some pretty late Zoom parties that have been going on till like 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. So I'm really looking forward to everything coming up in the next couple of weeks. Tune in on Saturday at 2:30. I'll do my weekly roundup that I've been doing. Thanks again for tuning in. I appreciate it. Shout out to Rob Peterzak for helping me out with OBS as I fumbled my way through it last night again, because I've been playing around with it, and sometimes you just need someone else's eyes on it. And thanks to Dan, he was a good help as well for some troubleshooting I was doing this morning. You're all wonderful. Please reach out with any questions. You can find me on Melissa Marie Imagery, or just shoot me a message here. Share this video, and I'm going to put it on YouTube probably as soon as I'm done with this. So I'll post a link and let you have something easier to access. So thanks everyone for tuning in.